They're working so hard. Tubes and wires and medications and ministrations. They scurry like brainless little ants, intent on their task, intent on keeping me alive. Why? Because they care? Doubtful. They don't know me. All they know is that Louisa, the pathetic idiot, is paying thousands of dollars a day to maintain the illusion of life. Keep me breathing, keep me trapped, hold me down, weighted to the earth. What would my darling wife say if she knew that all her efforts were useless? What would she say if she discovered that the pasty-faced lump she so regularly weeps and clucks over isn't even in his body? What a wonderful thing it was, my stroke. No pain, just a rippling through my brain, a tear in my consciousness. I felt the weight of responsibility, of business, family, sorrow, depression just drop away. And I was here, floating free. No light or darkness, no pain or pleasure, no life, no death, just here. It's not extinction exactly, more of a limbo, on the road to extinction, a place between. Around me I hear the whispers of souls like myself, drifting, waiting for sweet oblivion. I'm not even sure how long I've been here. I was in the office when I had the stroke. That was in December, I think. December 1992. From what I can hear down there in my hospital room, it's April now. That would make it 4 months. Unless, of course, it's April 1994 or 95. Why not April 2001? Who can tell? And who the hell cares? No caring here, no worries, just drifting and tumbling through vacuum and void. Far preferable to what I left behind. Stinking cesspool of a planet. Created by God, vomited up by the devil is more like it. I never met a man without lies on his lips, pain in his heart, chaos in his mind. Never saw a day pass without human suffering screaming at me from every corner of the world. I had everything that's supposed to guarantee a soul happiness. All the inoculations against misery, money, power, fame, beautiful wife, perfect children, willing mistress, and I was hollow. Hollow. A tin man. You could knock on my chest and hear the echo for miles. 54 years of life. And the only lesson I ever learned was this. There are no lessons to be learned. We wander across the years, stumble through frequent failures, rare successes, consume, copulate, manipulate, acquire, rage, weep, hate, love, and it means nothing. Because for all our grasping and desiring, all our craving and prayers, nothing fills the emptiness. Nothing fills the emptiness. So why, I wonder, don't I just turn my back and go? Why do I float here, staring down at the world I hate, worrying, wondering about her? In my mind, first a feeling, then a vision. India, the Ganges. Thousands of sweaty, unwashed bodies, pressed close, leap into those filthy waters in search of some imagined absolution, some vague, unattainable salvation, and she's there with them. Look at her, so radiant, her entire being suffused with something so great, so deep, that I wouldn't dare try to name it, to soil it with words. But I have named it, named her, haven't I? A name of my own creation, my own compulsion, but the right name, I think, though I can't say why. The proper name, Mercy. She's a mystery, Mercy is, and a quick one at that. 1 minute India, the next New York, homeless and lice-ridden, sleeping in the cold. The face and form are different, but somehow the same. I can always recognize her. That infuriating smile gives her away, as if she knows something no one else does, as if she holds the key that unlocks a question no one has ever even thought to ask. New York to Paris, the most graceful dancer on the stage, youth and beauty at its elegant peak. No, not Paris. China, old, defeated, every bone aching, yet she labors on. Why does she do it? Slip unnoticed through old and young, strong and dying, male and female, black and white, feeling every stretch of muscle, drinking in every gulp of air, vibrating through every blood drop shed, every tear fallen. Why move a soul wind through those millions of meaningless lives? Why be trapped by the limitations of human flesh, defiled by the stink and rot of humankind, when she's so much more? My eyes turn away from Earth, move across the place between, beyond limbo, to something I don't claim to understand. A rippling ocean, a swirling sea of light and color and sound and texture. An essence. Mercy's essence. I move closer to her and sense a completeness and at-peaceness that angers me and breaks what little heart I have left. She is magnificence beyond words. She is all that we are not. Yet she's chosen to forsake all that, destroy peace, shatter completeness, and descend into the very world I've turned my back on. I remember the first time I watched, stupefied, as the waves in her ocean churned, as something moved in the depths of her, as a column of color, light, sound, texture geysered up, spiraled down, took form. I wanted to scream a warning. Don't do it. Don't shape yourself, mold yourself, enflesh yourself. Go back, you idiot! Go back! But a non-man, I remembered, can't scream. A ghost can't be heard. So I held my tongue. So she completed her forming. So she descended. Richmond, it's called. A suburb of London. The house sits there, just behind Ham Commons, a testament to man's extraordinary ability to overextend his credit, to seek in material things validation for his otherwise drab existence. And she's here, or she will be. I've become quite the master at tracking her down. But why this place? Why now? These people don't seem unusual in any way. I can read them as easily as a book. There are advantages to this unlife. The human psyche is mine to drift through, peruse, pick clean. A dull, predictable book at that. Oh, but there, in the shadows of the shadows, something stirring, something, the thing which hovers now over her bed. A girl no older than my own daughter, and just as angry, if that engraved scowl was any indication. What is it that makes them like that? Full of bile and rebellion. They start out so innocent, and then the hormones kick in and they go insane. But the thing likes the girl's sleeping madness, feeds on it, fuels it, descends on her unconscious, grabs at stray thoughts. World terrible, world might as well end, it might as well die, and magnifies it. Die, yes, die, oh, end it all, die. It's gone now. No, not gone. Shifted. I feel it, black and pulsing, somewhere in the house. I start after the thing, but I'm caught, suddenly, in a crossfire of thoughts. Muted thoughts, when I first arrive, full of the boredom and longing, confusion and resentment that permeate every marriage. But now, buffoon, she thinks, weak, coarse, unattentive, this can't be the man I married. But now, witch, he thinks, cold, distant, cruel, this can't be the woman I married. Were these thoughts always there? Or did the thing call them out? Invoke them, create them, and then the thing shrieks. Color, light, sound, texture, form, flesh. Mercy, she's here, silent, she does nothing at first, and her lack of movement scares the thing all the more. It curls up into itself, shivers, moans. Then Mercy moves, and the thing nearly vanishes, trembles out of existence. Mercy moves, slow, delicate, raising a single finger, one single gesture that speaks more clearly than words. I'm watching. I'll be back. A warning? A promise? Both. Then she's gone, and the thing unvanishes, uncurls, musters a grotesque expression that, loosely translated, can be called a smile. Whatever power it sensed in Mercy, whatever threat it felt she was, the thing now believes it misjudged her. I still am, the thing thinks. I find its thoughts, as I brush them, almost unbearable, and she's gone. I feared her, but she it was who ran when she comes comes back. Back from where? Here? The deeps of a rainforest? The dark of a night? Is this 5 minutes before Richmond? 5 years after? Perhaps I've slipped neither backwards nor forwards, but sideways, into simultaneity. I've no way of knowing. A boy, no more than 12, running, gasping, weeping, falling. His terror is deep and palpable as her presence in the air around him, but he can't feel her the way I can. All he knows is his own pain. Such suffering in one so young. It surprises me, although I don't know why it should. Didn't I know pain when I was even younger? Didn't my own family heap enough abuse on me to— No point to that. That life's gone now. It'll all be gone soon. Cord cut into oblivion. So I distance myself from my pain and the boy's. Read his thoughts and feelings. Read his life with a cool curiosity. Different is how he feels. How he's always felt. One step outside the circle. One heartbeat out of rhythm. He is the tribe's, but the tribe is not his. But now the tribe wants him for something. Rite, ritual, whatever it is, it terrifies him, clouds his thoughts. I can hardly read him for his fear. Then the fear rises up from his heart, transformed to sound, a keening, a wailing, a song? Yes, melody erupts, vibrates through his body. Fear is broken, forgotten, and he dances, a moving prayer, not to the gods of his people, but to his own God, to the one he's glimpsed in visions, who meets him on the periphery of sleep, the edge of waking, not to the gods of his people, but to his own God, to the one he's glimpsed in visions, who meets him on the periphery of sleep, the edge of waking, the one who speaks soothing words, assures him, empowers him. So soothed, assured, empowered, he drops, exhausted, to the ground, leaving the imprints of his prayer dance in a protective circle all around him. So soothed, assured, empowered, his prayers are answered. I drift. For how long? There are times the world, non-world, I remind myself, around me loses substance, blinks out of existence. I drift, unconscious, through a warm grayness, and then I feel her again. Mercy, drawing me up and out of the gray, leading me to the streets of Brooklyn. Bedford-Stuyvesant. Hot, crowded, music echoing between the buildings. A sense of vibrancy, of pulsing life everywhere. No, not everywhere. In this one apartment, there's no life at all. Not even death. Just something between. Limbo, I realize. As gray as my own, the old woman sits, wafting alone through her gray life. The apartment is clean, too clean, as if she has nothing else to do but dust and scrub and vacuum. And all around her, pictures, framed photos, the past, trapped and enshrined. But there's something else. She reaches out toward a picture of a husband long loved, almost as long dead. And he's there, across the table. Ed, honey, she says to him, softly, timidly, I've been thinking about going out. Maybe volunteering somewhere, making some new friends. New friends, the man replies, astonished. Ruth, where are you getting these crazy ideas? What in the world do you need new friends for? You've got us, don't you? All of us? All of them. Suddenly the apartment is thick with shades and echoes. The past hovers around her. Mother, lost. Father, mourned. Best friend, died of a heart attack. First child, dead of cancer. The ghosts smile, chat, poke through the refrigerator, complaining for lack of food. What do you need food for? The old woman asks. You're dead, aren't you? The doorbell? From the way the ghosts are reacting, it might as well be the gong of eternal damnation. Ghosts, I now realize. And more than ghosts. Shadow creatures, shaped by misery, as if all the old woman's fear and loneliness, age and despair has taken shape, roosting there in floor cracks and cabinets, steam pipes and drawers. They ask her not to answer. Don't open it, they coo. You don't need anyone else when you've got us. But for all their casualness, I can hear the desperate edge in their dead voices. Don't open it. For the first time, I see a hint of life, of strength in the old woman's eyes. She squares those sagging shoulders, undoes the locks, turns the knob. But before she even opens it, I know who's at the door. A family haunted by their unconscious hatreds, an old woman haunted by the shadows of her past, and a child haunted by the prejudices of his own people. Why is Mercy involving herself so directly in their lives? Till now her earthly visits have been far more subtle, brushing sorrow's shoulder, sipping overflowing joy, riding a child's laugh, navigating the rivers of a dying man's rage. What's changed? 100, 1,000 scenarios flicker across my mind, all of them as vague and elusive as Mercy herself. I have to understand this. But it's like a snake, shedding skin after skin, each skin different from the one before. No pattern to it, no plan. Yet somehow all pattern, all plan. It defies all logic. Then I laugh, unlaugh. I suppose. What else can unman do? Defies all logic? Maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the answer. All of this defies logic. Doesn't it make more sense that this is just some dream I'm dreaming down there in my hospital bed? Just my stroke-ravaged brain shooting off random electrical impulses? A little mind movie before I die? A sobering thought, sobering enough to banish all questions of mercy, of plans and purposes without name or form. Out of my mind, I seek the comfort of my gray limbo, of sweet gray sleep. I awake illogically afraid, not in the place between, but here, in Richmond. Dinner time, when happy families gather round the table to share the events of the day. Cozy, loving, warm, sweet, smiling, supportive. Lies, the entity whispers. Masks. Rip the masks away, and what do you find? Rage and shame, abuse and addiction, passed on from one generation to the next. Rip the masks away, and father roars his hate at woman, at the cowering mother who smothered and babied him, pecked away at his maleness. Embarrassed, it murmurs, humiliated, crushed. Rip the masks away, and mother roars her hate at man, at the father who drank and screamed, touched and betrayed, who took her femaleness and poisoned it. Frightened, it hisses, worthless, alone. How many generations can the wheel turn before it finally spins out of control? How much pain can the children bear before they collapse under its weight? How long before the entities that hide in shadows, fueling and feeding this toxic legacy, finally triumph? I find myself praying. To who, I wonder? For the shadows to win, for the final descent into chaos? Cut away the mask, shred the curtain of lies. This is what we are. Why don't we admit it? Why don't we surrender to it? Then I feel a flush of emotion explode in my chest, a rush of involvement spread out in my mind, a surge of excitement. Are these feelings mine or the entity's? As she appears, and as mercy descends, as the thing snakes upward and attacks her, such joy in it as it grapples with her, the family, frozen in time, is instantly forgotten. A part of me, as dark and hungry as the entity, rears up. Destroy her! It dark, hungry screams. Extinguish her! Tear her to pieces! How overwhelmed I am with hate for her serenity, her beauty, her calm knowing. I want that thing to rip away Mercy's mask, reveal the sores and disease in Mercy's soul. Is this why I've tracked her so relentlessly, so obsessively? Is this why I've held off my surrender to the nothing? Do I want proof before I let go that the compassion she radiates, the love she seems to be, is a lie? They grapple. I watch, ashamed of, delighted by, this hunger in me. They grapple, I watch, soul burning. They grapple, I Fall? Slip sideways again. Yanked against my will? Is this her doing? Is this her doing? Or the pull of my own unconscious through past, future, simultaneity to the rainforest night? Night of deep chanting, heavy movement, naked terror. So, for all his running, for all Mercy's promises, for all his faith in her divine protection, they found him. I forget Richmond as I stare into the boy's eyes. He has no ethereal songs to offer now, no moonlight dances. He just wails, flapping and wriggling like a hooked fish as they drag him through the clearing. The tribesmen urge him forward. He strains back. The chanting grows in power. The boy screams. Raw. Incomprehensible. A part of me screams too, as I sense what they want him to do. What she and Mercy's suddenly there, wavering, melting, in the heart of the flame. Make the leap, she says. And her speech isn't of the tongue, but of silence, of the heart. Move, graceful, straight and sure, into the fire. He staggers back, betrayed. This is my God? This is my protector? The men grab him, force a boiling liquid, herbs and roots and insects, hearts and brains and blood, down his throat. The boy vomits, shits, weeps. He begs them, begs her, to set him free. I drift down, through them, among them. I become the madness in their chants, the sweat in their joined hands, the fevered thoughts that flit from mind to mind. And I understand their chief has died, and his only son has not yet reached the age of manhood. Come, she sighs. So they offer him up to the heat and light, believing that, if he is worthy to succeed his father, he will not die on the pyre. Into me she purns. If he is worthy, the flames will burn away the child and birth the man, the chief, and he will lead them, insistent now, demanding, into me. And the fool listens. I wanted proof that her compassion was a mask. The boy trusts that her love was an illusion. The boy, well, here's the proof of her deceit. Leaps. Here's the proof. In disgust, I turn my back on the jungle, find myself in Brooklyn, and find Mercy here with me. 2 places at once? 3? 4? There could be thousands of her across the universe, each one more maddening than the next. The ghosts and devils keep their distance, but they make their presence known. Out, bitch! They howl from their hidden perches. Get out! Leave us alone! She's ours, bitch! Not yours! If the 2 women hear, they give no indication. Just go on with their gentle talk, like old and dear friends. I listen closely, seeking clues, but all I hear is talk of yesterday. Uncle this, who drunk too much. Aunt that, who weighed 300 pounds. Cousin whoever, hit by a car back in '62. Mercy listens, really listens, with interest and concern, then smiles and reaches out her hand. What's she doing? The shadows hiss. Where's she going? To the window? What's she doing? The shadows hiss. Where's she going? To the window? To the light? She'll never do it! Never! Never set foot in blinding sun! Never suck in poison air! Never dare to even look! The hellish racket that erupts, the shrieking and baying, is enough to make me turn away again. I almost do, but the old woman, the change in her, as sunlight streams down, halos her. How can I turn away from that? Now, Mercy says, speaking from her silence, stand in the sun, breathe deep, feel what can be. That weathered face looks down, squinting, grinning, at streets full to bursting with joy, anger, love, lust, energy, movement, life. And she makes a sound, a squeak, really, soft, high, rich with wonder and delight. I never knew so much joy could be communicated by so small a sound. So much joy shattered. An impenetrable wave of blackness surges forward through the window, engulfing the old woman, dragging her back into the apartment. No, they're not dragging her. She's letting them take her. I'm sorry, her eyes seem to say. To embrace that world takes more strength than I've got, more courage than I've ever had. Then she's gone, and I waft here, not knowing what to feel. And Mercy, she seems beyond feeling, as she stands out on the fire escape, enigmatic, unfathomable, and so far beyond my comprehension. Comprehension. I struggle with it, sifting sands for hints and meaning, and wonder why I struggle. Get out of my head, goddammit. All of you, get out of my head. I don't want to know what it all means. I don't want to know about your pain, about your place in Mercy's idiotic game, but they refuse to leave. Old woman, young boy, mother, father, daughter, they whirl like dervishes before my mind's eye, taunting me, seducing me, touching something deep in me, unnamed, long forgotten, always remembered. And above them all stands Mercy, the savior. Mercy, the devil. Mercy, the fool. Which is she? And why do I care? But I do care. I do. And that, more than any of this, terrifies me beyond words. So, caring, terrified, I turn again to Richmond. I watch, seeking meaning in every movement, seeking pattern in every breath, as Mercy grapples with that hideous thing. I watch as it tears at her, claws, bites, batters, roars, to no effect. I feel the fear in the thing growing as it realizes how badly it's underestimated her. It looks in her eyes, and, panicked, sees its own extinction. In its panic, it fights even more desperately, more savagely. And Mercy doesn't fight back, doesn't so much as raise a hand in her own defense. She moves with it now, pliant and graceful, moves as it pounds away at her, as all of its draining strength is brought to bear on her. But it knows now that there's no hope of a victory. I watch, amazed, as the skin of the thing, the very crust of it, the layers of darkness and filth and madness that form its body, all of it begins to dissolve. Wait, it's not dissolving, it's shifting, swarming. All that ugliness and agony, all that sin and disease is flooding over her, into her, and it's not the creature's doing, it's Mercy's. She wants this awful pain. She's claiming it as her own, claiming skin, crust, darkness, filth, madness, and revealing beneath it not a nameless entity, but a lost soul. I read the thing, the soul, and see an existence of despair ended in suicide, freedom in a bullet to the brain. But there was no freedom, not even death, just limbo. Trapped between two worlds, unable to move on, unable to do anything but feed on its own despair, and ultimately become it. And now, has Mercy, through her suffering, lifted the soul's burden, purified it, set it free? So it seems. Peace brightens the night sky, descends like silent snow on the house below, drifts unseen through the hearts within. But how can I know for sure? How can I accept this peace, believe in this freedom, when so many questions remain unanswered? No, this being, this Mercy, is a mystery, and I'll know no peace till I unlock her. In search of the key, I slip away into the rainforest, where the boy's screams echo like the yowling of a dying animal through the night. He begs Mercy to help him, while his parchment skin shrivels in the flames. Why are you doing this? He pleads. I trusted you, sweet goddess. I trusted you. I find myself wondering if she'll do for the boy what she did for the entity. Take on his pain, release him. I'm not surprised when she doesn't. This suffering, comes the silent reply. You must endure. It's your destiny, your freedom. I can't take it from you, but I can share it. And incredibly, she does. The two of them roasting there together in a very small hell. Is what happened next real? Or have I moved so deep into the boy's consciousness that I'm seeing through his fevered eyes? It seems that his belly is growing with his pain, swelling, rippling, pulsing. Mercy, weeping, for him or for herself, cradles him, as around them voices old as time sing a song of mourning and celebration. And when the song reaches its crescendo, when the boy's bloated agony reaches its height, he dies. And in his dying, he is reborn. The old self, consumed, withers in the fire, blows away on night winds. The tribesmen surge forward, lift the boy, lift their new chief, up gently, reverently, carry him off to one of the huts where his burns will be treated. As they lay him on the floor of the hut, cover his body with cooling salves, the boy looks up and smiles. Mercy is there, and her gleaming eyes are his healing. He knows that for all he endured, and he realizes, far stronger than he ever imagined, he could not have survived the ordeal without her. He has no questions about the why of this, about what the past meant or the future holds. He loves Mercy with all his heart, trusts her to guide him, day by day, into this new self he's birthed, and cocooned in that love and trust, he sleeps. Is he a fool for surrendering himself so completely to Mercy's care? Or does he see something in her that I can't? Is it really possible that... No, I don't believe in love or trust. I don't believe in Mercy. The old woman trusted her. And look at the results. Demons and ghosts are everywhere now, shrieking like banshees, swarming like bees, capering like loons. The old woman sobs, trembles. Mercy, still on the fire escape, watches with a serenity I've come to truly despise. Their eyes meet. Help me, please. The old woman whimpers. Mercy gestures, and the gesture speaks. Help yourself. And she does. Her steps are slow at first, fear in every movement. The demons, capering, don't even take notice. Then she picks up her pace, her fear balanced by a growing strength. The demons, swarming, stop dead in their tracks. There's a screaming beyond sanity, a roaring beyond sound, a light. She draws one curtain, then another, lifts one shade, then the next, floods the apartment with sunlight, sanity, life, hope. Demons melt like wax. Ghosts burst like balloons. I can almost see the old woman's isolation and mourning unwind and fall away like a mummy's bandages. A modern-day Lazarus. She climbs out of her crypt onto the fire escape, leans over the edge, looks down at the world. "Nice day," she says casually to the blue-skinned woman beside her. "Feel like taking a walk?" Mercy's smile is cryptic, but her meaning is clear. "I think you can walk by yourself now." No sense to any of it. She rises up from infinity, takes form, descends to a planet in chaos, and wastes her time with these inconsequential people, with insignificant lives that make no difference, serve no purpose. If she's some kind of savior, why save them? Why not redeem the world? And if she's some kind of devil, then why not consume it once and for all? Maybe she's neither. Maybe it's all a joke to her. Hell, maybe I'm the joke. Damn you, Mercy. I've circled in on you like a flock of vultures, picked your bones clean, yet you remain as unyielding, as impenetrable as ever. And still I search, still I probe, still I seek you. Why? What's this hold you have on me? All I want is oblivion, but you won't let me go, will you? You keep pulling me back, dragging me down. Well, if that's the way you want it, I'm coming down. I'm coming for you, Mercy. And I swear I'll do what all the entities and ghosts and fires of hell couldn't. I'll destroy you. A bloodhound, I grab her scent, hunt her essence, find her lurking. Here, in my hospital room? 1,000, 10,000 questions geyser up out of me. One finger opens my heart. My consciousness widens. I no longer see. I no longer think. I no longer feel. I am. Oh, mercy. Now I understand. The secret behind your actions, the thread that binds all these seemingly random events. There's no great or small, no question of size or importance. Each act of compassion, however minor it may appear to our blind eyes, affects all creation, shakes it to its roots. It's the cry of the human heart that draws you from your formless state into each of these lives. The entity's torment, the boy's anguished heart song, the old woman's isolation and sorrow. Human suffering calls you down into our world to ease it, transform it. Through my whirling ecstasy, my spinning exhalation, a pattern takes shape. A wheel, huge as heaven, tinier than a stray thought, spinning through the universes. And there, at the wheel's hub, the force behind it all. Within us all, unnameable, alive, it spins the wheel, shaking each soul in its turn, and through us, shaking the world. And I see now, as eternity recedes, as the walls of my hospital room take form again around me, that the wheel has shaken me out of my isolation, my fear and anger. Mercy says nothing, just stares at me, and deep in those eyes I understand that she knew all along that I was watching her. It was her intention from the start to transform me as surely as she transformed the others. So, transformed, I dissolve, dissipate, descend back into my body, into a world that seems suddenly charged with divinity, with secrets and truths of greatest profundity and greatest simplicity. And as my eyes flutter open, as my wife, sweet Louisa, how I've missed you, how I love you, gasps, moves close, slips her fingers through mine, I understand the most profound and simplest truth of all. My wife's breath is on my face, her lips gently brush mine, but my consciousness reaches out one last time and touches the wheel's hub, a majestic ocean of color, light, sound, texture, a completeness, an at-peaceness. And I know mercy is there, waiting, forever waiting, for the cry of the human heart. Any time one of us reaches out, any time we pour even a drop of love, compassion, simple human decency, no matter how small, how seemingly insignificant, into the sea of earthly existence, we are, each and every one of us, the being called mercy.